Hello, we are Assessment Group 15 and I'm Sava Siddiqui and these are my group members Samina, Gurpreet and Mandeep. We are here to present the concept of legitimacy theory, which is our assessment number 2. So what basically a legitimacy theory is? Legitimacy theory is a concept that the company's performance must be in line with the expectations of the society. And the thing central to this theory is social contract. What the social contract is? The social contract is that the company has different contracts with different stakeholders, which may be explicit and which may be implicit. Explicit means that those contracts are expressed, and implicit means those contracts are implied by either norms or statute or anything else. So the legitimacy theory is this concept. Then there is a legitimacy gap concept. So how this legitimacy gap arises? The legitimacy gap arises when the corporate performance is not in line with the expectations of the society. So what the society means? The society are the stakeholders. The stakeholders are shareholders and creditors also. So how do they are different from the other stakeholders? So the earlier times, the stakeholders were only considered to be shareholders and creditors, and only financial information was disclosed for them. But as the trends of the society and as the global warming existed, the trend shifted towards environmental safety and social safety, and this gave rise to the bigger circle of the stakeholders, including customers, suppliers, employees, and environment, government, and many other stakeholders. The legitimacy theory is the concept which implies on the corporate social disclosure. It says that the corporate social disclosure depends upon the legitimacy theory, the extent to which the company tries to be legitimate with the environment, with other stakeholders. Legitimacy theory is now defined and the concepts are clear, so the practical implications of legitimacy theory are to be understood, and in order to employ the theory in the real world, we were needed to discuss 4 companies, among which 2 are belonging to the retail industry and the other 2 are belonging to the energy industry. First, I will discuss the energy industry and then I will discuss the retail industry. So the energy industry consists of 2 companies, AGL and Energy World. AGL is a domestic company and it provides energy and power and gas supplies within the country, within Australia, and Energy World is an international company. It has plants in Philippines, Indonesia, Australia, and many other locations around the world. AGL has its separate sustainability report, which shows that how serious the company is to maintain its organizational legitimacy, and it addresses different corporate social activities the company has done for different stakeholders, and the relevant stakeholders have been identified by the company, and those stakeholders are being addressed in the report. On the other hand, the Energy World is a very large corporation, but it has no separate sustainability report. Anyhow, in its annual report, it has some component about the environmental and societal aspect, which targets the other stakeholders, which are non-financial. So the AGL and Energy World both have legitimacy gaps. AGL legitimacy gap is that it has some accidents and other kind of stuff in which has occurred in it, but the company has mentioned it in its sustainability report, and it has a reward of being clear and transparent. On the other hand, the Energy World, as I've already told, that it has no separate sustainability report, which is its biggest drawback. Being a very large international corporation and having so many stakeholders multinationally, the company must have a separate stakeholder report to address different requirements, different expectations of other stakeholders. Now moving on towards the retail industry, there are 2 companies in the retail industry, the Reject Shop and Dick-Smith. Reject Shop is a retailer who has branches, stores all over Australia, and it has a small component of social and environmental disclosure in its annual report, and also it has separate employment policy and sourcing policy, ethical policies, and code of conducts, which shows that the company has tried to maintain its social contract with the stakeholders. But anyhow, it has also legitimacy gaps. The reject shop has skipped a very important stakeholder, the government, from its annual report, and it should be considered by the reject shop that the government has a high influence and expectations from the company. Now, the second company of the retail industry, Dick Smith, is also Dick Smith Limited is also a retail industry company, and it has also no separate sustainability report. A small portion of its annual report is dedicated to the non-financial disclosure towards the non-financial stakeholders. But it has a major legitimacy gap that between some years it had a very fast growth, and it had no disclosure anyhow about that fast growth and how it has occurred. So it is keeping the stakeholders in black about how the company achieved that much in such a small time. So this analysis of our assignment and of our report concludes that legitimacy theory affects the corporate social disclosure of companies in their annual reports and in other media like websites and separate reports like AGL have. And the recommendations, as we have already told, that AGL should have AGL have the sustainability report, and the Energy World should also have a separate sustainability report, being a very large organization and having so many stakeholders. Other companies should also concentrate on the stakeholders they have missed in their annual reports, and um, address those expectations to maintain their organizational legitimation. This is all from our side. Thank you so much.